Hi everyone, Lauren Tracy here from X Factor Filmmakers, and this is week 5 of my Reluctant Filmmaker vlog. It's only been a few days since I released my last one, but I'm trying to do this more in the middle of the week, and I was late last week, so it's all screwed up, but apologies. Okay, what's been up the last 4 days? 3 days? So, couple things, Sweet Desert Palm. When the time is right, my producers and I and my dad are throwing around the idea of asking Tavi Gevinson of Rookie Magazine to audition for Noah. She was recently made her debut on Broadway in the show This Is Our Youth. And it's been getting pretty good reviews. I didn't see it. I'm not in New York right now, but I heard some good things. And she's been in some movies lately. And there's just something about her that, she's been on camera a lot her whole life. So I've actually seen more of her that way than in actual acting. But there's just something about her that has this sort of quiet sensibility that Noah has as the main character of Sweet Desert Palm. So that's something we've been tossing around. Stay tuned for how that develops. Another thing, Sweet Desert Palm, Greta, one of our producers, and I have a location scout in Arizona coming up in the first weekend of December. And we just got word that we have a place to stay for free, which is always good when you're making an independent film for the first time. She has friends who have friends who are letting us stay in their house. I haven't met them yet, but I'm thanking them ahead of time, and I will, of course, thank them when we are there, too. So that's exciting. And that's pretty much it for specifically Sweet Desert Palm stuff. As far as X Factor Filmmakers goes, a couple of things. There is a very talented filmmaker by the name of Mara Tasker. I'm not sure if I mentioned her yet or not before, but she raised about $35,000 to make a grindhouse thriller short film called Sheila Scorned that I've seen, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I really like Mara. I think she's super smart, and she really fits this badass brand that we have going, herself and the content that she makes and wants to make in the future. And she's thinking about turning the short film into a feature film, and we've talked about working with each other. Greta met with her in Los Angeles and they really hit it off, so we're going to be having a meeting with her soon and see if we want to partner or not with each other for sure, and like what that looks like exactly. We're toying with the idea of, just like we're doing with Sweet Desert Palm, releasing content from like day one of a movie's conception. Of course, when I first started writing Sweet Desert Palm, I didn't know we were going to be doing this, so we didn't quite do it that way. But if we partner with Mara and she wants to turn Sheila Scorned into a feature film, then we're going to propose to her that, like, as soon as she starts writing the feature film, we want to start having her blog and interact with our audience from day one and experiment with that and see how it goes. So if you like that, definitely subscribe on YouTube and to our email newsletter at xfactorfilm.com to get more info on that. Also, I mentioned Y Combinator in the last video. That is typically a tech startup incubator in Silicon Valley, but they're starting to branch out into other industries like biotech, and one of them is Hollywood 2.0. They're calling for startups in that kind of category, and we really felt like we resonated with that. So we're applying. Unfortunately, we're applying late because we just found out that they are even asking for this at all. So we'll see what happens. Sometimes they accept people late, sometimes they don't. Otherwise, they do a batch of companies like every 6 months or so, and we're getting a fairly positive response from our application for people who sort of are connected with Y Combinator and our mentors at the Venture Development Center here in Boston. So that's been kind of a very intense a good process for us over the last 5 days or so. It's helped us adjust our messaging on the pitch side for X Factor filmmakers and really honed in on what it is that makes us different from a business model perspective, besides just being a company that right now is focused on badass female entertainment. So I'm sure more will be coming out about what will come out of that basically workshop that we've been intensely doing during the application process for that. Cool. Some fun stuff. I watched a movie called Honeymoon last night on Amazon that I believe is also available on iTunes. And it's by a female filmmaker who I'd never heard of before. It was her first script that was made into a movie with her writing partner, Phil. Her name is Lee, and I'm going to have a lot of trouble pronouncing both of their last names. But her name is Lee Janiak, I believe is how you pronounce it. But you can look up Honeymoon on IMDb to see the spelling of her name. And her co-writer was Phil Graziadei. Again, probably butchering, and I apologize to them. But the film was really cool. It was really interesting. I've never seen a horror movie, you could kind of call it a thriller, I don't know if it's straight horror, that had such depth to the characters, emotionally and plot-wise. It's this newlywed couple who's on their honeymoon in the woods, and things start getting a little bit strange for them. But what was so cool about it was that you knew them really well really early on in the film, and there was a lot of character development, and the development of their relationship on screen was really shown, so that when that starts to fall apart, it was really, really heart-wrenching. And then the horror was sort of built on top of that, and so it made it even more sad and scary, because you're not only scared for like their safety physically, you're scared for their relationship. And that's something that you don't really see that often in horror and thriller. So I really give the writers and the director props there. Would recommend checking out Honeymoon. Let's see, is that it? Yeah, I think that's it for now. Anyway, so if you guys like what we're doing, as always, please subscribe at YouTube and or sign up for our email newsletter at xfactorfilm.com. And thanks for staying badass.